when using a computer, you have to use correct posture. Otherwise, so you will get different kind of injuries when you are using this for a long time. So sometimes kind of eye strain or eye pressure or any sight issues or maybe neck pain and back pain or repetitive strain injuries like so carpal tunnel syndrome I said last week, right? So you will get a lot of injuries if you are not using computer properly. So here this table shows you, right? So according to our last day lesson, this table shows you the correct postures to be followed, and when those are not maintained, what kind of injuries can happen, right? Here the first one, always keep the computer screen at the level of your eyes or little below. අර ඇස් මට්ටමේ හෝ ඊට පොඩ්ඩක් පල්ලෙහින් තියාගන්න කියලා කියනවා screen එක. Not far, not more, right? The small, so maybe you can just few centimeters, 1 or 2 centimeters below the eye length. Why? Because if you maintain that, so then it will not give you pain of eye like eyesight issues, tearful eyes. And I said one thing. So in addition to this, so when looking at the screen, I said one thing. Who can remember that? කාටද මතක? මම කිව්වා screen එක දිහා බලන් ඉඳිද්දි තව දේවල් දෙකක්. Can anyone?
After about 1 hour, you must go out and
you have to. So at least every 40 minutes, it's better to look some far away place. So if you can look, see through the window, would be better. Or at least move your eyes from the screen and look at a far away place because it will relax your eyes. So yes, very good. So what is the second thing? I said another thing too, right? So can anyone remember the second thing? දෙවැනි එක මතකද කාට හරි? What about so blinking eyes? Is it normal when you are looking at screen or is it not normal? Right? So can you remember? So when you look at screen, you always keep your eyes open without blinking much. So that can cause damages. So maybe your eyes can be dry due to that. Blinking අපි අර ඇහැ ඇසිපිල්ලම් ගහන එක. So blinking eyes will be reduced when looking at screens. අපි screens දිහා බලන් ඉඳිද්දී mobile phone even. If you're looking at mobile phone screen or if you're looking at computer screen, TV screen, this happens. අපි අර ඇහි පිල්ලම් ගහන්න නැතුව බලන් ඉන්නවා කියන්නේ. So that will happen. So then what to do? What can we do? Yes, what can we do about that? You have to purposefully blink your eyes. You have to purposely blink your eyes, right? So a few times. Last day one did like me. මතකද ඔයාට? මතක නැද්ද? I asked you to blink your eyes and when looking at the screen, please blink your eyes because then so it will reduce drying your eyes. Otherwise your eyes might be dry. So please blink your eyes few times purposely. Right, the next thing, distance between your eyes and computer should be 18 to 28 inches. I said that at least. So when you measure in centimeters, 45 to 60 centimeters. So in between that. So keep good distance with your screen. If you cannot maintain good distance, again your eye will get pain, right? And if distance is again too much, also there's a problem. If you're looking at a screen where it's in a faraway place, again your eye will start giving troubles. So always keep this limit. So it's 45 to 60 centimeters or 18 to 28 inches. And to reduce the back pain, you can sit well using a back support in chair. And if you can have arm support, that is also good. අත් දෙකටත් දෙපැත්තේ support එකක් තියෙනවා නම් පුටුවේ හොඳයි. Why? Because then your fingers and elbow will be, so otherwise you'll get different injuries in your arm or maybe palm or fingers, you might get different kind of injuries. So one injury I said the carpal tunnel syndrome. Carpal tunnel syndrome. This is one injury. So where sometimes you might, so if you get this kind of injury, you have to operate your hand. Make out operate කරන්න වෙනවා. So it is not good because it will like, so you will not feel maybe so like some kind of pain or basically numbness, kind of numbness කියලා කියන්නේ දැනෙන්නේ නැතුව යනවා වගේ ඇඟිලි වලට සමහර. ඒ වගේ දේවල් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. This is because of overuse, wrong poses. So this actually involves a small operation. After the operation only it will be okay. Because the operation එකෙන් හදන්න වෙන මට්ටමටම ඒක යනවා. That is called carpal tunnel syndrome. So please note these things, right? මේව මතක තියාගන්න පුතේ. Right? Not just back pain, not just eye pain. So there are more severe injuries, right? Okay, so then in addition to this, adjust brightness and contrast of the computer screen which suit to your eye. Don't make like too much bright. If you make your screen too much bright, again it's not good for your eye. If you make it too much dark, again it's not good. So always you have to be in the middle, not too much dark, not too much light. What is contrast? Contrast කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? Yes, what is contrast? Can anyone tell? Brightness, brightness means, what is brightness? Hirusha, what is brightness? And what is contrast?
Brightness means deeptiya.
Oh, deeptiya. Contrast. What is contrast? Yes?
Don't know.
Don't know. Right, okay. Right, when you increase brightness, so you can also, if you are using that now, if you're using cameras, you can see this, right? When you increase brightness, so more illumination will be there. So let me show this using small example. I'm going to use a small image, and okay, this one. Let's use small image from the computer. Then I can show this very well. Right, I'll use this image, right? I'll use this image and I'm going to open that with Photoshop. So till it opens, let's talk about the next thing. So often here, till it opens, often give a rest to your eye if you're working your computer for a long period of time. That's what I said. At least every 40 minutes or every 30 minutes, look at some faraway place. Although an incorrect posture can cause health issues, the computer is not a device that can be discarded. Therefore, we must use the computer properly to avoid such problems. That means, මෙහෙම ප්‍රශ්න තිබ්බ කියලා අපිට computer එක අතාරින්න බෑ පුතේ. Computer we have to use in day-to-day life. Okay, let me show you in this image. Okay, I'm going to adjustment and brightness and contrast. Okay, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Hirusha?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you
I
see
can.
image in my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me increase the brightness. So this is what brightness is. Noticed? Brightness වැඩි කරද්දි මොකද වෙන්නේ? දීප්තිය වැඩි වෙනව නේද? පේන්නේම නේද? Brightness අඩු කරද්දි here it's dark. When brightness is high, it's lighter. Dark, lighter, dark, lighter. That is brightness. Understood? Okay, contrast. Contrast is the second one. See, if I reduce the contrast and increase the contrast, reduce the contrast, increase the contrast, what will happen? Contrast. Here reduce contrast. Here I increase contrast. Reduce the contrast, increase the contrast. So what is happen when you increase in the contrast? Yes? No idea. Okay, this is what when the contrast is reduced. See the image. There's a girl. You can see the image. Now contrast is reduced. I'm going to increase the contrast. Now contrast is increased. So what's the difference? Okay, we'll ask from a newcomer now. So where on? What's the difference? Now, what is the difference that you can see? What a difference එක කියන්න බලන්න පුතේ මට. Contrast අඩු කරාමයි, contrast වැඩි කරාමයි. මොකක්ද වෙනස?
The contrast is low, it's not clear.
Contrast is low, it's not clear. When contrast is high,
Clear.
it's more clear. So that is something, yes. When contrast is low, color separation is low. The gap between colors අතර gap එකක් තියෙනවනේ. එතකොට ඒ gap එක අඩු වෙනවා. එතකොට it become like it's not, you cannot say it's unclear, but the color depth is little bit low. But when contrast is high, the color separation, the colors are more deep. So then you can see the colors more clearly. But when contrast is too high, again a problem. So when, so let's open another image. Go open this one. Okay, this is on, I'm going to change the contrast again. Image, adjustment, and brightness and contrast. So here contrast is low. Right? Contrast is low means like it's faded out. But contrast is too high, you can clearly see the colors. But if it is too high, again, so you can see colors only. So, but here, unfortunately, you can't increase that much. Now you can see. Can you see the image now?
No.
So what you can see?
Only colors.
Only colors, right? If contrast is too much, this will happen. Contrast is too low, this will happen. So you cannot see the color. It's like faded out. Like, okay, this is contrast medium. This is contrast normal. This is contrast somewhat high. This is very high contrast. Then you can see the colors only. It's like a drawing now. You cannot see the color separation. That means you have to use somewhere, something in the middle. Contrast, something in the middle you have to use. But here was this image also, previous image also, I can change the contrast using the same method. So here, when I increase the contrast, you can see it's too much contrast, then you can see colors only. Very few contrast, you cannot see anything. Here, medium contrast, you can see the image well. Okay, you have to control the contrast and brightness, right? That is what you have to learn. I think now you know the difference between contrast and brightness. Brightness means the lightness. So more lighter, when brightness is high, it's more lighter. But contrast means the colors. So more depth colors, color depth is high, the contrast is high. So here, so please write down under there. So maybe you can use your pencil and write, or if not, you can use your book and write the back side of the book, the new terms that we have learned. So in computing, these terms are very important. That's why I'm asking you to write there. So since you are learning computers, I think you should know both terms. Okay, the first one is contrast. Wait. First one is contrast. Oh, yeah, brightness or contrast you can write. The color depth. Contrast means color depth. Contrast means color depth. So computer uses COLOR color, right? COLOUR color will be treated as incorrect word, but you have to remember COLOUR color. Our computers will use COLOR color. Eka confused when neba. So in English, you are using COLOUR color. So in UK English. So, but computer uses this one, COLOUR color. Right, color depth, contrast means the color depth here, difference of the colors, deviance, divergence of the colors, weight of the color, whatever. Then brightness, brightness means illumination. Brightness means illumination, or the, you can say illumination, glare, lightness, right? More bright, more lighter. We can say more bright is more lighter. Less bright, it's dark. Less bright means it's dark. Here actually more contrast, deep colors you can see, but less contrast, it's faded colors. You can see faded colors when it's less contrast. You have to come to middle, right? Brightness also you have to come to middle, and contrast also contrast also you have to come to. In TVs you can adjust this, right? You can adjust the contrast. Too much contrast, then it's pain for eye again. So too much lighter, again pain for eyes. But less contrast is again, it's blurry. Medium contrast and medium brightness is the best. Best solution is medium brightness and medium contrast. So that is best. Okay, please write down this in your book. But this is not main note, right? This is special thing. So either you can put square. Note එකේම ලිව්වනම් ඔයා පොඩි කොටුවක් දාගන්න මේකට. This is like extra thing that you should know. Put a square or highlight that. So that is special thing. Or if you wrote that in the back side of your book, that's okay. You can keep it this. Okay, so let's move to the next one. So then the last is the let's dispose electronic waste safely. This is the last part of this lesson. So what is electronic waste, right? What is electronic waste? Do you have electronic waste in your home? If so, how many kilograms? Okay, let's ask from Netum. Again, you are also new to the class today. Netum. Yes. Do you have electronic waste in your home? Electronic waste තියනවද ඔයාලගේ ගෙදර? කොච්චර කිලෝග්‍රෑම් ගාණක් තියෙනවද? ඔයා හිතන විදියට. Electronic waste means any hardware which is used but now the hardware component මොනා හරි use කරලා ඉවත දාන ඒවා. අයින් කරපු රේඩියෝ, අයින් කරපු TV, ඕනම දෙයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අයින් කරපු phones. How many kilograms? 0.
Yes, we haven't just put anything out like computers. We haven't done current. Sorry,
You haven't like you don't have any unused components in your home, so that's great.
yes.
But it's not true for all the houses. I think everyone, so at least in house they have 1 kilogram or at least 500 grams of electronic wastage. I have monitored, I have seen even in my house also, because we day by day we are using components. When something broken, we cannot just throw it away because it's also damaging the environment. So we have to keep it some time until recycling or until repair or likewise. Chargers, hitala balana charge එකක් කැඩුනම chargers, wires, at least 500 grams. I guess at least we might have 500 grams in our home. So what about Rovinu? Rovinu, what do you think? What about your house? You also don't have? Rovinu?
Yes, sir.
Don't have? You don't have? Is that? That's good, no? So, but it's really difficult to make it zero, right? Really, then you have to stop charging your devices, maybe multi-plugs. Now go and search, right? Even though you said that you don't have, no, go and search in your home. Maybe you can find some nuts, maybe some wires which are not used by you, or maybe part of some router, some plastic, anything, right? Or some refrigerator, part of some refrigerator, likewise. You might have some electronics wastages in your home. Electronic wastage mean anyway, it's all computer hardware, not only computer hardware, the TV, radio, including TV, radio, everything belongs to electronic wastages when those are become unusable. When those are unusable, those are categorized under electronic wastage. So how to remove those? How to remove those? Any suggestion? අපි පොඩක් පුතේ මොන ටිකවත් බලන්නෙමුද මට තේරෙනවද නැද්ද කියලා තේරෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. කතා කරන්නෙත් නැහැ නේද? වීඩියෝස් එක on කරමුද? Let's on the video. Then I cannot see you guys. All right, okay. හරි. lesson එකේ ඉන්නවද කියලාත් පේනවනේ නේද? හරි. මට කියන්නකෝ කොහොමද ඔයාලා මේ electronic wastage අයින් කරන්නේ? How you remove this electronic wastage? What do you think? කොහොමද ඔයගොල්ලෝ හිතන්නේ මේ electronic wastage අයින් කරන්න? Yes?
Without throwing things and use them like recycling.
Yeah, can we recycle all? That's a problem. So can we recycle? That's a problem. So can you recycle a computer, Hirosha?
We
Okay.
want to give it for a
Yes, you want to give it to recycling company. Yes. ඔයාලට අපිට recycle කරන්න බෑ computers. Because we don't have that facilities. Because those contain like lead, barium, mercury, beryllium, like these are called so some metals or wastages or some compounds which can damage our biological systems, including our health or maybe plants or animals. Lead. දන්නවනේ the lead කියන්නේ මොනවාද? ඊයම් නේ? ඊයම්ද? Lead. Here. So this is lead. Lead means basically here this one. ඊයම්. You can see it's damaging, right? It's not really good for our health. It can damage our health. Lead. Right, then barium also, so that kind of metal, so which can also damage our heart, muscles. And mercury රසදිය අහලා තියෙනවද? අර උෂ්ණත්වමාන එහෙම වල තියෙනවද? දැකලා තියෙනවද රසදිය? Have you seen that? All thermometers has this mercury. Have you seen this mercury thermometer? This is like old thermometers, but nowadays you don't have this because you have digital thermometers. But all thermometers, they are having mercury inside that. That is not good for our health. This is called mercury thermometer. So this is mercury. And beryllium also causes lung cancer. These are some bad materials to our health. So therefore we can't recycle. එහෙනම් අපිට මේවා තියෙන හින්දා අපිට recycle කරන්න බෑ. අපි හිතුවට මේ circuits ප්‍රයෝජනවත් විදිහට අපි යොදා ගන්නවා කියලා, but we can't because we don't have facilities. So then there are companies having these facilities. So they can recycle. For an example, I'll show you few examples. So this is, I have taken this from Sri Lanka Environmental Authority. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Right. So this shows here CFL bulbs ඒවා recycle කරන්න දෙන ACR recycling කියලා company එකක්. CFL bulbs කියන්නේ e-waste එකක්. හේතුව මොකද්ද? Why it is e-waste? When these bulbs are damaged, right? It's not good to throw this away because it has various materials which can be mixed with water and spoil our water sources. It's poisoning, right? So if you found a bulb a broken bulb, so don't try to touch it. So that is not good. ඔගොල්ලෝ දැක්කොත් මේ CFL bulb එහෙම bulb එකක් ඔයාලා අතින් කැඩුනා කියමුනේ. ඒ වෙලාවෙම ටක් ගාලා කැලිටි එක එකතු කරන්න හදන්න එපා. මොකද ඒකේ අර තියෙනවා මේ වාෂ්පයක් වගේ. So that is really not good for health. Inside the CFL bulbs are actually not really very not good for our health. Therefore, it's banned in some countries. That's why LED bulbs are promoted. LED are good, but CFL, it's not good. So CFL bulb එක කැඩුනම ඒවා කොහොමත් අපි අතින් එකතු කරන්න හොඳ නැහැ. අපි මොකක් හරි බෑග් එකකට තමයි එකතු කරන්න ඕන. And it's a e-waste. Don't just throw it away in your garden or somewhere. So don't mix it with soil. පස් වලට එකතු කරන්නත් හොඳ නැහැ. So you have to give to such company where these bulbs are recycled. This is ACR recycling. It's in Homagom. And Ceylon waste management. It is for CFL and CRT monitors. Ceylon waste management. So in your book, there are questions, right? So I think you have to remember these things. Shall we write down the company and the type of e-waste? Only these two?
Okay.
Right, okay. So I think it's better otherwise. Right? Let's say,
Sir,
yes.
the picture that you showed in the first place, the thermometer you used to put in your mouth, right?
Yeah. That's used to put in. So please write the heading, e-waste management companies in Sri Lanka. So let's draw as a table the company and the type of recycling done by them. Company name and type of e-waste managed by them. So the first one is, as our presentation said, the first one is ACR Recycling. They manage CFL bulbs. The second company, I think you saw that, second company is Ceylon Waste Management. Ceylon Waste Management. That company manages CFL bulbs as well as CRT monitors. So please try down in your book, right? E-waste management companies in Sri Lanka. Company and the type of recycling. The third company. The third company is Clean Tech. Therefore, they are managing CRT monitors, bulbs, Clean Tech. CFL bulbs and CRT monitors, that part. That is clean tech. And the fourth one is eco-based world. Eco-based. There are also CFL bulbs, fluorescent, and CRT monitors. EcoGate Lanka Engineering Services. They manage used batteries, discarded mobile phones, they manage these things, right? Okay, your book is asked, the workbook is asking 5 companies. Let's write another one. E-waste logistics solutions. E-waste logistics solutions. So they also these things. Okay, so in your book, they're asking 5 such companies. So there are more I'll share with you, right? So other companies I'll share with you with the contacts. So similar to that, there are companies, special companies managing these services. So you will be disconnected within 1 or 2 minutes, but you have to reconnect to the same link, right? So please
Okay, sir.
reconnect to the same link, right? Okay. So what is the first R? What is reuse? What can be reused?
Like a jam bottle for plants, some seeds.
Yeah. That is not e-waste, but anyway, jam but bottle you can use that for planting. Example is correct. Similar to that, so there can be some materials which are not harmful. So all the materials you can't reuse, right? Because some are harmful. So wires, for an example, wires you can use for wiring. Maybe creating circuits you can use, right? Reduce. How to reduce? How to reduce? Right, you have to use, so for an example, you can repair and use the things. So if your laptop is broken, you can repair and use rather than just throwing it away. If your computer is broken, or if your computer's random access memory is not working, you can replace the random access memory and reuse that. Otherwise, if you're throwing the entire computer, it's a waste. මුළු computer එකම විසි කරන්නේ කෑල්ලක් සවුත් වුණා කියලා. So if your screen is damaged, you can replace the screen. and reduce e-waste. So that's what reducing